Gotcha, bitch.
Fuck her right in the pussy.
Breakfast.
Did you do it because you're a true American?
I did it because it needed to be done. Fuck her right in the pussy.
So it's not exactly a fandom. I'm not a fan of video games. I actually had to learn a lot about video games in the process of making this. In dozens of third-person games with playable female characters, the character's butt is brought to the forefront, and that's where the player's focus is directed. In Batman Arkham City, for instance, the player's gaze is drawn to Catwoman's behind.
I'm not a fan of video games.
In the variations of a market economy,
but Mark,
2%
you and
is
your
nothing
statistics,
compared to 200%.
You're narrowing it to university graduates there in order to get a statistic which is not borne out by the greater society.
Yeah, but in your statistics, they're women who are choosing to work fewer hours, Andrew. You're just plain wrong.
I don't think that's always the case.
We need to go back over this statistical analysis again. Do you want?
Aside from the statistics,
Wow, a feminist that doesn't like to use statistics. Who could have seen that coming?
let's look at the notion that women over the past 40 years, we are better educated, which means we have more financial freedom. We don't need a man like we may have needed a couple of decades ago. Do you think there's any truth to the argument that perhaps men feel sort of threatened because they no longer have that power or do you think there's any...
No, I think the average man's doing quite fine. They ignore most of the left feminist claptrap. They ignore people like Van.
Gotcha, bitch.
Who are a very, very minority interest in our society. She's a self-declared anarchist, way, way on the extreme left of politics, representing perhaps 0.001% of thought in Australia. So she's safely ignored. The real issue for men is, can they keep up in the education system? At the moment, among university graduates leaving every year, 40% are male, 60% are female, a massive advance for women in this country. And when you look at the bottom of society, when you get away from Van's debate about women like her, because left feminism is essentially selfish.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Can I speak, Andrew, without you being a participant? Are you a participant in this show or a host? Are you a professional host or a participant?
I'm trying to get to the bottom of the issue, but you try and insult the other guest.
Are you the host of this program, professional and cool? You should declare what you're doing at the beginning of the segment. You should declare your interest at the beginning of the segment. Because I can tell you the viewers had a gutful of you having a bet each way.
Why don't we try and keep away from personal attacks?
Can I defend myself,
please?
Shut the fuck up, you'll speak when fucking spoken to. XDDDDD.
Self, please, or is a man going to speak over me?
Oh, you're trying to speak over us.
Yes, you are speaking over me, Mark. You're proving...
Feminism is cancer and I'm triggered.
Now, I've known you for 20 years.
No, you haven't.
I'm a stupid cunt.
I met you when I was an undergraduate at the University of Wollongong.
Well,
you know for a fact I'm from a working class family from the suburbs of Sydney, and I write about that in my work all the time. You have to deal with the fact, Mark, that your position is the extremist one. I'm from the suburbs. I'm state school. I'm University of Wollongong, and I'm a feminist commentator who's pointed out the fact that women are discriminated against in this society. Let's talk about those trains and the need for safe carriages.
Van, can you just give us a moment?
On a train when you were a teenager? Because I was.
Excuse me, Van. I mean this with respect to all of you, but I think
feminism is cancer.
At this stage.
I called the train about 20 years ago. The practicality on the 11:30
Mark,
train.
good on you with your personal attacks. Good on you, mate. Good to see you sticking to the topic again.
Well, I am sticking to the topic. It just shows how little you know about the practicalities of life in the suburbs, because the idea that
I don't live in a suburb. I live in a cloud, Mark.
No, you live in cloud cuckoo land, absolutely. So look, the point is that if you're on the 11:30 train out of the city and there's a women's only carriage and you're a bad bloke who wants to do damage, well, you go straight in.
Peter Lloyd is the author of Stand By Your Manhood, and he joins us live from London. Peter, thank you very much for joining us. Geez, mate, where to start? You seem to be really angry in your book. What is it exactly that you have against women?
Nothing at all. I absolutely love women. I have to say, this may surprise you, but my mother is a woman.
Gotcha, bitch.
And, you know, I have 3 wonderful sisters who I love, but nobody ever is honest with men about the real world. And so, you know, we've had books like The Female Eunuch and How to Be a Woman by Caitlin Moran, and I just thought it was high time that us men had our version.
You say that women spend a lot of time looking for Mr. Right. They're very critical. You actually reckon blokes shouldn't get married. Why not?
Yeah, I do. Well, I mean, if I'm honest, marriage is a raw deal. It's a contract, and when it goes wrong for men, they often lose their home, they often can't see their children, they lose half of their fortune, and it can just be really psychologically damaging. I just think, have a great relationship, go for it, pursue love and everything, but just don't get married. It's a contract you don't need.
Oh, Peter, as a happily married woman for 11 years, I'd have to disagree with you. And really, how can you say men have been hard done by? I mean, what evidence do you really have to back that up?
Wait, what the fuck? Open your ears, you stupid bitch.
Look, I know it sounds oxymoronic, but bear with me. It's like when somebody first tells you about infinity. You can't quite take it in at first. You have to keep thinking about it, but it's true. I've studied lots of empirical data, and, you know, from school, the school system is failing boys. Men are a minority at universities.
Really?
The life expectancy gap. Most universities have men as a minority group.
But they end up earning more later in life in their careers. They end up being on the boards of more companies. They end up running more countries. So it sort of seems a bit oxymoronic, as you put it, that you guys are being oppressed.
Well, look, it's true, but you know, looking at who runs, you know, boardrooms and companies is only one way of measuring, you know, how equal society is. If you look at the heads of families, it's women who hold all.
Is it?
It is oppression, really. I mean, it might not be the kind of oppression that we're used to seeing and hearing, but it's absolutely real.
So
let me hold on, ladies. Give us a go. You've had a pretty good run.
Oh.
More men are incarcerated, more men kill themselves, more men die at war, more men are homeless. What's the problem with men?
Well, I think...
After all that, those stupid cunts still laugh. This is living proof that men in some aspects have it harder than women. For example, women who are involved with domestic violence can be given help and taken care of. Men who claim to be the victim of domestic violence are laughed at. Do yourself a favor, do a quick Google search on how many women have faked being raped by men, and then search how many men have faked being raped by women. This channel is in no way against women's rights. This channel's purpose is to express how both genders have advantages and disadvantages, and why modern feminism promotes hatred towards men.
I think the big difference is that gender roles have changed so much in the last 50 years, but men are still programmed to be used on their utility. So men are considered disposable, and feminism, for all it's done some wonderful things, but at the same time, it's really kind of, you know, ignored a lot of men's issues, and they've just worsened over 50 years. So while women's liberation has kind of like gone like this, men's lifestyles have kind of gone like that. And all I'm saying in the book is, I'm not blaming women for these problems, but I'm saying, feminism, oi, it's time we started sharing the platform here.
Peter, do you have a girlfriend?
No, I don't. I'm single.
Funny.
How is that funny? Besides, I guarantee nobody has touched your dried up dusty old cunt since the fucking moon landing.
330 or 340 studies show that women are at least as physically aggressive towards intimate partners as men.
So are you saying that there are as many cases of women being violent towards men in a relationship as there are men?
Yes, it's long been known. It's long been known. Say 330 studies, you know, which have been collected by Professor Martin Fiebert at the University of California, Long Beach. It's true across the developed world, and it's true in this country. It's known from crime surveys, or the Crime Survey of England and Wales more recently, that men suffer violence at the same sort of levels and at the same severity as women. And yet the support for men for male victims of domestic violence is virtually zero. And again, it's another driver of the high male suicide rates.
Okay. Quite obsessed. Oh, yes!
Caroline has won. Originally, we called them Whiny Women of the Month awards. And,
were they the same one?
And then no.
I thought there were two categories.
We started off with lying feminists.
I don't care what it's called.
Okay.
Why did she get it?
Why did she get it? She got it because she called it because she lied. And
I lied.
This was nearly 2 years ago. She called into a radio station and lied about the impact of having more women on boards. And more recently, she lied about the proportion...
On corporate boards?
On corporate boards. Yeah. And more recently, she lied on the New Statesman online website. It was later taken down, but it was captured, claiming that domestic violence was a major cause of death of women. And it's a radical feminist lie. If you deal with this stuff as much as I do, you realise that virtually everything that comes out of radical feminists, they're either conspiracy theories, fantasies, lies, delusions, or myths.
And it looks like it might only be 3 inches deep.
Turn down for weed!
Smoke weed. Smoke weed.
Gotcha, bitch! Hey guys, what's up? Wrecked Horse Sperm Videos here. Hope you liked the video. There's much more to come this week. Just wanted to give a special thanks to Bill Cosby. In case you didn't know, I'm actually an aspiring actor, and Bill Cosby has invited me to his house tonight for some acting tips and a few drinks. I can't wait. Just so generous of him. Thanks, Bill Cosby. Thanks to all you guys who supported me on Patreon and subscribed. And again, thanks to the one cunt for his really generous donation who wants to remain anonymous. If you're watching, man, fucking thank you. Before you go, check out these other channels. They're just funny as fuck and just fucking awesome. Thanks, cunts, and I'll catch you in the next video.
As you can see, I'm collecting for Be a Hero for Autism Fund. Have you got any lindens, please, milady?
Damn it. Are you serious?
The scales ruined your life, not the fatty crap you put down your pork bowl or your adamant hatred of exercise. Nah, it was definitely that goddamn scale.
This is for us, ladies.
Why is it always about the ladies? Men are fat too. Fuck, man. A lot of fat people want to get slim and they want to get healthy, and a lot of people weigh themselves every morning and they think to themselves, God damn it, I'm so fat.
Which to ordinary women daring to defy history.
To, piss off historians instead of pissing off gamers because apparently gamers are way too abusive. Just when you thought she couldn't possibly find something else to complain about video games, last time it was butts, and now it's how that character uses that butt to sit down with.
You need to be monotone, but have a little bit of nuance to your voice. The goal is to hypnotize people into a false sense of security so that they'll trust you. But their other goal is also to hypnotize them so that they don't actually listen to the words that are specifically coming out of your mouth. They just know that you sound like you know what you're talking about, even though you're talking out your ass. When anyone with any kind of intelligence actually listens to what I'm saying, I tend to make a lot of enemies.